The Arizona Diamondbacks swept another team for once. This time it was the Colorado Rockies, and I'm going to try my best to not get too excited about it. We're talking about this as well as previewing the upcoming series with the Rangers, where we will see a matchup between Merrill Kelly and Zac Gallen. All of this in 30 seconds. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome into another edition of the PHNX Diamondback Show right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of PHNX. This guy next to me is known as Jesse Jr. That guy over there on the ones and twos is known as your, ambassador of excitement, the one and only Damon Dog himself. And I love to see all of the ladies here in the chat. Ladies know baseball better than guys anyway, don't they? Happy Monday to you all. Great to have you guys here. Great to be talking about Arizona Diamondbacks getting a series sweep over the Colorado Rockies. Of course, this show is brought to you by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Make sure to download that Bet365 app. Use our code of PHNX365 when you sign up. Follow some easy steps. You'll get yourself some bonus bets over at Game Time. Use our code of PHNX and you'll get $20 off your first purchase on buying some last-minute tickets. And this would have been a good series to go check out. We had Corbin Carroll Star Wars bobblehead night, and more importantly, we had the Arizona Diamondbacks completing the 3-game sweep of the Colorado Rockies. And I'm going to say some crazy things on this episode, but let's remember there's some very important rules in life that I've established. One of those, no offense, Jacob Franklin, is to never eat paella in Chicago. And another one is to definitely never get excited about the Arizona Diamondbacks or any baseball team, quite frankly, beating the Colorado Rockies or sweeping them in the state that this team is currently in. I believe the Toronto Blue Jays did this to them. They outscored them 45-6, and then they went on to get waxed by the Dodgers, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But again, this is still an important series sweep for the Diamondbacks. There was a lot of progression here, and if you are into that sort of thing, as far as what the young guys are doing, there's some development going on. Tyler Locklear didn't really have a strong series in this one, offensively or defensively. Meanwhile, some young arms have really emerged for the bullpen that I really like. But overall, we had some great performances in this series. Diamondbacks now are 57-61 after the series sweep. It's just their 5th series sweep of 2025. And more importantly, they recorded just their 4th walk-off of the season on Saturday. Damon, that's not enough. That's not enough. No good baseball team should be able to look back at a season and say they only recorded 4 walk-offs.
It's mid-August.
By this point of August. Yeah, it's crazy, right? They have homered in 8 straight games, so the offense is definitely back. It was very, very cold during that stretch around the trade deadline, but they appear to be back. And most importantly, again, the Diamondbacks have improved now to 57-61. That we're going to take a look at the standings. I'm going to be insane when I say some stuff. Again, this is just a series sweep against the Rockies. The Diamondbacks do have a 3-game series against the Rangers that is going to be far more telling, I think, as to the actual state of where this team is currently at. Should they be able to win the series against the Rangers, then they have 4 more games against this exact Rockies team. This might be the exact thing the Diamondbacks need to not only pad some wins, but to also just give themselves some confidence, give the confidence to the guys that have been here, give some confidence to the young guys that are just arriving and just starting their major league career. But overall, that's what I feel like the rest of the season is about, despite the fact that I'm going to start bringing up the wild card standings and again, getting overly excited about where the Diamondbacks stand. But let's take a look at where they sit after this series. Let's take a look at the numbers from the series presented by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, because this was a thorough series victory. Again, one close game overall, and the Diamondbacks did get their first walk-off of the series the fourth walk-off of the year. But they beat the Colorado Rockies and their stupid logo that I don't like by a score of 25-12 in this series. They out-homered the Rockies 4-2. Surprising, considering that the Diamondbacks put up 13 runs in the finale. They only had one home run in that game. Runners in scoring position, the Diamondbacks were outstanding in this series, quite frankly. 2 for 5 in game 1, 3 for 10 in game 2, 10 for 15 in game 3, 15 for 30 for a 500 batting average. The Diamondbacks had 9 consecutive hits with 2 outs on Sunday, which is a new franchise record, and their offense just did the thing in this series. They did let the Rockies get a little bit too close there on Sunday, but it is what it is. The Diamondbacks did have a 4... Oh, wait, nope, those aren't extra base hits. Those are ERAs. But Diamondbacks did have a starting pitching ERA of 4.96 to the Rockies' 12.33. And the Diamondbacks bullpen had a 2.53 ERA, 0 earned runs allowed by the bullpen in games 1 and game 2. And again, 3 earned runs on Sunday, 4.96 starting ERA for the Rockies, 12.33 starting ERA. Gross. 10 runs allowed there on Sunday, 4.00 ERA for the Rockies there for the relief.
You'll never get a mistake on a graphic past piece of Yoshi. That is a bona fide fact.
Yeah. Well, they're also coming at you for you doing Lourdes dirty in the graphic.
I completely disagree with.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, but
Lourdes had himself happy. He's got a beautiful smile.
He should be happy. He was he hit the walk-off winner on Saturday. He was 4 for 12 in this series. He had 3 RBI, 1 double, very important one. Adrian Del Castillo had himself a day on Sunday there, going 3 for 5 with a home run, a double, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. I believe he was just 1 triple short of the cycle in that game. And Corbin Carroll continues to stay hot, 4 for 13, 5 runs scored, 2 home runs in this series. He had 4 RBI, 1 double, and 1 walk. So there's how they performed offensively. No problems handling the Rockies, but welcome to the Snakes, Juan Burgos, because I already like this kid a lot, and I think so far what we've seen is the Diamondbacks get some things in this return. We're going to talk about Tyler Locklear on Mailbag Monday. He's definitely had his struggles, like I said earlier, defensively, offensively, but a couple of guys that have really stood out here that the Diamondbacks just received in these trades, guys that were minor leaguers that we didn't know when we would see them, already contributing to the major league roster, already contributing to a win. Juan Burgos made his debut on Saturday, 2/3 of an innings pitched. He allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Meanwhile, super bad Andrew Hoffman, I love him so much. I want Andrew Hoffman protected at all costs. He has a 2.45 ERA this season. But on Saturday, again, came into the game, Damon, in the 9th inning, tied ball game, goes out there and one inning pitch, 1 strikeout, and keeps the Diamondbacks, keeps it tied ball game. And I just really like that out of him. I mean, already being put into a very high leverage situation and delivering for this team.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see it with all these bullpen guys, right? Because you really had nothing in the bullpen.
You had nothing. Yeah.
So
why not give these guys a chance? And honestly, they have nothing to lose, right? Like, these guys come up and they have a chance to, like, really make an impact and earn themselves more playing time.
Earn a roster spot next year.
Exactly.
Really, that's where I'm at right now. Is like, I want to see a lot of what I want to see for the rest of the season is these relievers pitching in high leverage situations and getting their feet under them. Maybe they don't all work out, but that's how you figure it out, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how you figure out. And I mean, again, this is an opportunity. This isn't just, I guess, this isn't garbage time, right? This isn't just necessarily a team that's completely out of it. We know they're out of it. We know I'm trying my best to at least go back and realize I already called this season was dead a while ago, almost a month ago, it feels like now. But this is a team actually numerically, mathematically, that are not eliminated. And with some of the terrible play ahead of them, you have no idea. The Mets are playing some of their worst baseball of the season. They can't seem to win a baseball game. And realistically, all it takes is, a couple of these other teams to be mediocre, the Mets to be especially bad, and the Diamondbacks, to find a way to beat some of these really good teams that they still have left on their schedule. This stretch, the Rangers are what they are. We're going to preview the series with the Rangers. The Rockies are the worst team in baseball. They do have 4 more games after the Rangers series with the Rockies. So that's you can look forward to that, But again, after that, the schedule is very daunting. So no matter what their record is, no matter where it stands 10 days from now, they have a tough stretch ahead of them, including Padres as the final game of the series. I think they have 2 more series against the Dodgers. They also have a series against the Giants that have been playing some good baseball. A lot of division ball left, and just a lot of good baseball teams still ahead of them that are in a fight of their own, quite frankly, and that they need to stack wins and beat teams like the Diamondbacks when they face off. But let's take a delusional look at the drunken orgy of violence that we call the NL West right now, because of course Diamondbacks made a little headway here on the wild card in the wild card race. Dodgers still sit atop of the division at 68-50. However, they are looking in their rearview mirror, and it's the meme of the guy running, and it says objects are closer than they appear. Well, the Padres are definitely closer than they appear. 66-52. They are just 2 games back in the division. They currently have a 3-game lead in the wild card. The better they play, the more it feels like you've solidified the top 2 spots. I've said that before, right? Where the Mets or the Phillies were one of those teams that I felt like had solidified a spot. And now look how poorly the Mets have played. It's baseball. It's that easy. You go on a losing stretch like the Mets have, and you find yourself now I believe they're just a game and a half ahead of the next closest team. So the wild card is getting very close once again. But the Padres seem to be solidifying themselves there with the wild card spot, as well as being right on the tail of the Dodgers for the division. The Giants sit at 59-59. They are 6 games back. And then I wasn't done looking at that. 9 games back, 4 games back in the wild card. And then the Diamondbacks here, 6 games back in the wild card, 11 back in the division. Infinity sign in the division. We don't care about that anymore. It's just this 6 games. And again, we have a Mailbag Monday question in regards to this. However, I don't know, Damon. I don't know how crazy I'm going to start talking once the Diamondbacks get back to within 4 games, 3 games of the wild card. And that feels possible, but then in a very 2025 fashion, I feel like the Diamondbacks will just get that close, just close enough to make us believe again, but not really be able to get closer than that.
They'll probably get to game 162, and then they'll play some sort of patty cake rain delay hopscotch in the middle of the field where 2 teams just decide that they don't care. And that'll end our season 2 years in a row.
I hate it. Well, you brought up an interesting point to me, just in regards to, I know a lot of people, excuse me, would much rather see James McCann behind the plate while we are waiting for Gabby Moreno to heal up. There was good news the other day. Gabby is being sent to Reno along with Pavin Smith to make their rehab start. So the Diamondbacks do have some reinforcements on the way, much to the chagrin of Damon and Elise, who will probably not be happy hearing that Pavin is on his way back. But definitely, I mean, Scott Mack says DFA Elrod. Elrod has not been having himself a good stretch here. Again, another guy that hasn't been having a good stretch is Jose Herrera in Gabby's absence. The Diamondbacks, the results are fairly much a push, right? It's not like the results are much better for one player or another. The Diamondbacks do have a losing record with both Jose Herrera and James McCann behind the plate. However, James McCann does feel like he's been contributing a little bit better here to the Diamondbacks. And overall, there's some information kind of to back that up. So far this season, the Diamondbacks are 11-13 with McCann back there. He's slashing for this team this year, 254, 365, 381 for a 746 OPS, just below league average. Meanwhile, Jose Herrera, the Diamondbacks are 8-13 in the stretch of Herrera's games that he has started in. And over that stretch, Herrera has hit 186, 261, 220 with a 481 OPS. I don't know if pitchers prefer Jose Herrera. I know Torey has used that line. I like Josie's at bats entirely too many times for most of us to stomach, considering that he's hitting 186 over that stretch and 188 on the season. So I don't really know if the Diamondbacks really have much of a choice, but when Gabby comes back, to go with James McCann, quite frankly. And I think that between James McCann and ADC, Diamondbacks do have more than enough catching back there behind Gabby. ADC, again, had himself a wonderful series, so I would love to see him get more playing time. Hopefully he's coming into his own this season. Offensively, we know he's always been a really good, hitter. It's mostly just his ability to throw runners out and some of his shortcomings behind the plate. But the Diamondbacks, can keep ADC here as a potential short, limited amount of time backup behind the plate, and then have him, DHing and have him putting up performances like he had on Sunday. The future can look very bright for ADC. But we're going to talk more about the upcoming series here with the Texas Rangers, including a matchup I think most of us don't want to see between Zac Gallen and Merrill Kelly. We're going to do that on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, our guy Ryan Blaney in NASCAR, that's my driver, got pole position this weekend, Damon, but unfortunately he could not come out with the win. I believe he finished 5th or 6th. I was disappointed. Once he didn't win, I just stopped paying attention.
You're a Blaney man, huh?
I'm a Blaney guy, right? And of course, every point counts. Stages count. He won the first stage, so at least he got points there. And these are all new things that I've just learned. I'm new to this. I'm an idiot when it comes to NASCAR, but I'm kind of learning to love it. And again, having a driver, very important part of it. But another very important part is coming out to Phoenix Raceway and seeing it in person, smelling the burnt rubber in person, getting to walk the track, just getting to do all the incredible fan experiences that they have out there at Phoenix Raceway. But championship weekend is it. It's just like baseball. Their season starts in February. They have a grueling season, and then it all culminates in October, where you can come out here to Phoenix Raceway and see the championship race. NASCAR fans get the best access in sports with a small ticket upgrade. You'll be in the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience, up close in the garages, meeting drivers, taking pictures with drivers, walking the track, catching the pre-race concert, and so much more. It's the best value in sports, hands down. And most importantly, this might be your last chance to see it here in Arizona for a while. So come on out. It's a great time. Don't miss your chance to witness the NASCAR Championship weekend in person, coming to Phoenix Raceway October 31st through November 2nd. Tickets for Sunday's Cup Series Championship race sell out every year. So move fast and get yours now before they're gone. And here's the kicker. Once again, NASCAR is taking championship weekend on the road starting in 2026. So this is your last chance to catch it in Phoenix for a while. Tickets, hospitality, and upgrades are still available. Get yours now at the link in our show notes. And also, of course, now is a very, very hot time of the year, and it's not cooling off anytime soon. So make sure you get yourself a smart thermostat in your home that can help save you lots of money. For every 1 degree you increase your temperature, you can save yourself 2 to 3% on your cooling or on your energy bill. And remember, your cooling, your heating of your home is more than 50% of your energy bill. So we want to save you money, and you can do that with a smart thermostat. APS customers may be eligible for smart thermostats for as low as $0 right now when you enroll in the APS Cool Rewards program. If you already have a smart thermostat at home, you can see if it's eligible to enroll in Cool Rewards, plus free installation is available at the link in our description. Must be an APS customer and pay shipping and taxes. Other restrictions apply. Go to marketplace.aps.com for more information. And Damon, we do have an upcoming matchup that's going to make most of us sick to our stomach to see on the field. I know it's going to make both pitchers involved sick to their stomach, but the Diamondbacks do have a 3-game series here with the Texas Rangers. And let me tell you, there are times where I'm jealous. I'm openly jealous of a lot of things in life, and I have no problem admitting that. I'm jealous of Damon's youthful exuberance, which I no longer have. I'm jealous of the fact that most of you don't have to live a life of scrutiny where you come to your job every day and have a certain guy call you a shill and tell you suck in the chat every day. And most importantly, I'm jealous of the Texas Rangers pitching staff. We've talked about this with other teams. If we only had a third of their ERA, if we only had a little bit of this action that the Texas Rangers have going pitching wise, the Diamondbacks, they might be an undefeated baseball team. If you combine the Texas Rangers and the D-backs, they would probably be undefeated this season. But
are the Rangers the new Mariners?
They
in that
might
way?
be,
because it used to be the Mariners pitching staff with the D-backs offense. Then they kind of took our offense.
They did. Well, we kind of, like I said, they aided the arms race there. We gave the Texas Rangers a baseball bat, and we gave the Mariners a knife. And we said, go fight, bum fight, go bum fight. And we have no business calling anybody a bum, that's for sure. But Texas Rangers here stand at 60-59 this season with a plus 59 run differential. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games, and their major flaw here is their OPS. Offense has been bad. It was bad in yesterday's game for the Texas Rangers, continues to be bad this season. They have a 675 OPS, which is 28th in Major League Baseball. But the starting pitching ERA and relief pitching ERA are just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 3.28 starting pitching ERA, which is first in baseball. And yes, Scott Mack says it. Eovaldi's ERA is microscopic. It's insane. Relief pitching ERA, 3.34 this season, fourth in Major League Baseball. They have the first best starting pitching ERA, fourth best. How do they not have a better, record? Like, even with one of the worst offenses in baseball, I still feel like with that good of pitching ERA that you would still be able to, have a better record than one game above 500. This is why baseball is so frustrating. Their outs above average is 21. That's tied for fourth in baseball. So again, they've been playing some great defense this year, and they're in a weird spot, the Rangers, because they are in a kind of a divisional fight. You have an Astros team that is bruised and battered. They definitely added and upgraded at the trade deadline, as did the other team ahead of them in the standings, the Seattle Mariners. So they have a lot to fight for. Again, the Yankees might currently be the worst team in baseball, besides the Mets. If you are a New York baseball team, you are very bad right now. And the Yankees they have 4 closers, I think. That's what's crazy. They have like 4 elite closers, still not enough for that Yankees poverty franchise to win baseball games. But who knows what can happen. And again, with how close they are in the wild card race, adding Merrill Kelly was a big move for them. The Diamondbacks return for Merrill Kelly so far. A pretty good return. The results, we'll wait and see. We're going to talk about Coldrake a little bit later.
The truth. The franchise,
Coldrake.
People are calling him.
But let's take a look at the probable pitching matchup for this series, because as you'll see in the finale, that's where that heartbreaking matchup between Zac Gallen and Merrill Kelly occurs. But smash the under for game 1 as far as tonight's game, right, Damon? I mean, Ryan Nelson.
I put my bet in while we were live on air.
That's a smart move. That is a smart move. Smash the under for Ryan Nelson versus Nathan Eovaldi in game 1. Ryan Nelson, 3.20 ERA this season. He is 6-3 going up against Nathan Eovaldi, and is 1.38 ERA, 111 strikeouts for him. He has a 10-3 record.
Here's the play for tonight, Derek. Nathan Eovaldi, 5 strikeouts. Ryan Nelson, 4 strikeouts. And then the alternate run line under 6.5 at 5 innings.
Wow.
Parlay it.
Oh, wow.
Even odds.
We're not even supposed to give that out. That's
Bet
like you're supposed to bet
365.
365. Yeah, use that code of PHNX 365 when you do that. Anthony Disclafani, aka Discomania, 1-2 this season, 4.20 ERA. No idea what we're going to get in game 2. Game 2, complete wild card matchup, right? Disclafani could be awful. He could be great. Going up against Jack Leiter there, son of Al Leiter. Once again, another pitcher that makes me feel very old. Another baseball player makes me feel incredibly old. He has a 4.05 ERA, 7-6 record, 93 strikeouts for Leiter this season. And then game 3, Zac Gallen versus Merrill Kelly. Gallen this season, 5.31 ERA, Merrill Kelly 3.38, 9-12 record for Zac, 9-7 record for Merrill, and then 130 strikeouts for Zac, 131 strikeouts for Merrill. Advantage Merrill. But he also is in a new place where he feels very uncomfortable, and he was also not very good in his last outing for the Texas Rangers. In fact, even in his first outing where he was kind of moving along nicely, Bruce Bochy still took him out at like 67 pitches, which once again caused a bunch of people that are Diamondbacks fans to call Torey a bum for some reason, but that's what it is. Feelings about this Merrill and Zac matchup. Why do we have to have this civil war? Why did we have to trade him away to a team we still had games against?
It hurts.
It hurts so much.
I don't like it. It's going to feel really, really icky and gross during the game.
There's 100% chance the day before that they go out golfing together.
Yes.
150% chance.
Is this in Arizona or Texas?
This is in Texas.
Yeah, they'll find some new course out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Merrill's already scouted it out.
Oh, 100%. 100%. He's asking around. He's getting things prepped and ready. But, well, I mean, the Diamondbacks, again, this is a bigger test than the Colorado Rockies. I don't want to. 2BMC asks a very important question. I know we're going to get around to the mailbag questions later, but 2BMC asks, who is Captain America and who is Iron Man? Wow.
Between those two,
in a Avengers Civil War situation, essentially, is what he's saying here. I feel like Merrill Kelly is Iron Man. I'm not doing this based on looks. I'm doing this more based on
the story of the movie,
the attributes of the person themselves.
So in this hypothetical scenario, Zac Gallen killed Merrill Kelly's parents, or his best friend killed Merrill Kelly's parents, and he just let him get away with it. It's pretty deep and dark.
Yeah, well, I mean, Merrill Kelly was the only one to get a win in the World Series, so... Oh man, I don't know. Let's see. Ryan H says Iron Man is Gallen. Yeah, see, like that seems like an easy, like you're like that's based on looks. Merrill Kelly very much to me seems like the I don't know. Well, maybe Merrill Kelly's a little anti following orders a little bit more. I don't know. Zac Gallen is doing it for the love. Iron Man is Zach. He's never had TJ. Good point, Scott. Good point. Well, speaking of injuries, unfortunately, we have yet another injury to add to the pile. Our baby boy, a.k.a. Korn himself, Yumin Lin, has been added to the Reno Aces IL with no reasoning behind it, Damon. I hate it. I hate it so much. I need to know more about it. I don't have any information yet on why he's been added to the IL. But he was placed on the IL as of August 10th. So hopefully that is not anything that is terrible or long lasting. However, what are your thoughts on keeping him away from the major league roster? I feel like that's for the best. You've always been concerned about durability with Yumin Lin.
Yeah, just his size. I think that's always going to have to be the concern with Yumin Lin. But
160 pounds, right? That's what
he's listed at. Yeah. Hopefully he's added a bit to that frame since, but yeah, I think, he's probably going to struggle with that. Yeah, I don't really have much on it. I hope that he, can just use this time to develop a little bit further. I just don't think he's ready yet. He's so young. He doesn't throw like particularly hard. Just give him some more time to cook up. It's impressive that he's made it to this level this fast, I would argue. Yeah,
I mean, and he was having some success, but like RA said, he said Phantom IL, he hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked great as of lately. Maybe the IL stint is why he hasn't looked great. Maybe it is a Phantom IL stint. Don't really know at this point. I couldn't confirm or argue with you on that. But what I will say is that the injuries continue to pile up, including players the Diamondbacks have traded for. In fact, some players, young players that Diamondbacks have received as part of the trade packages have already been added to the IL this season. So it's just been one of those years for the Diamondbacks, and it's not been easy to watch for any of us. But again, there might be some positive, might be some positives there. But the other young parts, the ones that are on the team, they've been doing a good job. Hopefully that continues, and hopefully this is the beginning of a bullpen that maybe isn't, maybe I'm not optimistic that this is going to be the best bullpen in baseball, but hopefully a competent, competitive bullpen that can go out there like they've done so far and hold leads. And that's all we're looking for. That and more John Curtis. I need all the John Curtis in my life. And quite frankly, I mean, he continues to do a great job, but more John Curtis is always good for me. The bullpen though, good stuff, Damon. Good stuff this year from the bullpen, or recently. I won't say this year. Good stuff recently. I was about to say,
what the hell are you talking about?
What the hell just flew out of my mouth? Yeah, no, but we will have more, hopefully. There he is. I was waiting for him. Always there, always waiting. Always, his face always getting bigger, head always getting bigger. Killer Rex wants to refund Tyler Locklear already. Sorry. It's a no refund policy, unfortunately, when it comes to young trades like this. But Sean McFarland, he says Merrill pitched for USA. He is Captain America. There it is. That's the decisive factor. I can't argue with that. But we are going to go and talk about our questions from the mailbag here in a minute. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. We all are. Well, Gila River Resorts and Casinos is the place for you to go. Not only are we having our PHNX Cardinals residency there that you need to join us for, but it is a great place to go at any time. It's a great place to go have a staycation here. The temperatures are still hot, still time to go out and hang out by the pool, get yourself a frosty beverage. Still a great place to go out for a wonderful night on the town. Of course, 4,500 slots and live table games where you can catch all the action at their BetMGM Sportsbook. They have delicious food, massive screens, a little paper ticket in your hand. It's the ultimate place to watch and win, place your bets, and experience the excitement. Most importantly, you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playathila.com for more details. Me and Damon still need to take our summer boys trip out there because I need that. I need some more Gila River Resorts time in my life. Also, stop by Circle K wherever you're at right now because it's still, like I said, very hot outside. Circle K is America's thirst stop. It's the place to go for snacks. It's the place to go for drinks. And if you join the Inner Circle right now for absolutely free, you can save on all of that. It's easy to download, easy to get enrolled, and then all you got to do is use your phone number to score Circle K deals. You can score 25 cents off per gallon on fuel when you buy 3 Coca-Cola 20-ounce products. You can also get cookies for $1 each. And don't forget to text STRIKE to 31310. That way you get yourself some goodies after every Diamondbacks game. Here, their home games. Get yourself a little freebie in your text messages as well. So do not miss out on saving money. We all love to do that. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Damon came through with the Circle K water, which, again, we're not hydrating ourselves enough. I know most of you guys didn't do that.
We really aren't.
I know people were out there were dying just for Corbin Carroll bobbleheads at 2 p.m. in 105-degree heat. God bless every single one of you that went out there and did that. Damon, do we have some super chats to get to before we get on to the mailbag?
BCSC's been keeping us busy here on the super chat side of things. Was laughing at you saying mathematically that the D-backs were not eliminated and says all it takes is a torque video.
Mm-hmm.
Then goes on, BCSC goes on to say, who are these players?
We're still trying to figure that out, BCSC. We'll get you introduced to all of them.
And then, so you're telling me it's a chance. Nice booty. And Noah, my baby father, I missed you. Everybody else I didn't miss. JP, I love you all. I think I meant to be JK.
Is the nice booty to me? I'm going to take it. I'm just going to take the nice booty.
Yeah.
Keep it
I don't know if Noah caught wind of that.
No. It's like he walked by in the background, but he didn't. It's odd. And he was here. So it's like BCSC knew, even though he wasn't on screen. Well, great to have you guys here. Great to reach another Mailbag Monday. Of course, you know what we do on this show. Every single year on this show is the Year of the Snake. Every single month on this show is Hispanic Heritage Month. Every single week on this show is Shark Week. Every day in honor of Jesse is Passover. But on Mondays, we go to the mailbag. Damon, let's go to the mailbag.
Mailbox. Always something interesting in my mailbox. I try to get to everything in my mailbox. And then once in a while, there's a letter that makes me go, wow, wow, my mailbox.
All right, what do we got in the mailbag today, Damon?
First question here comes from Russell. And Russell asks, does this 3-game sweep of the Rockies make you feel better about the D-backs' chances of getting into the wild card picture? And how will you feel when we play against Merrill Kelly? And are we back?
All right, let's take this in three steps here. First, it does make me feel better. I think more importantly, it's more of a sigh of relief, right? Diamondbacks beating the Rockies was imperative. The Diamondbacks sweeping the Rockies, maybe not so imperative, but again, it makes you feel like the Diamondbacks are clearly not in the same category as the Rockies, which makes you feel much better. And again,
it's nice of Albert to join us during
Albert joins
chat.
us in the live chat instead of showing up 3 minutes after the show's posted to say that the D-backs are trash. So good to have you here, Albert. I will say that again, it's doesn't really give me hope. I'm not going to get hope from a Rockies series. I'm not saying the Diamondbacks can't give me hope, nor am I saying that the Diamondbacks can't use 7 games here over the stretch of 2 weeks against the Rockies to really add to their win total and possibly get themselves out of being below 500. But for me, it's far more important how they play against the Rangers, how they play against other teams. So that for me right now is what I'm looking at. But I think that when you see them sweep the Rockies, you feel a little bit better, right? You feel like this team, at least especially with the offense that we saw in this series, was the team that we came to know and love. And again, feeling positive a little bit about the bullpen and such. There, are we back? Well, I feel like we're playing better baseball than we've played over previous stretches this year. Let's do it consistently. Like I said earlier, the Diamondbacks have put together a nice little stretch here. They have won 6 of their last 8 games. So again, now what they do against the Rangers, what they do against the Rockies on the other side of that will make me maybe get a little bit excited. But for now, I'm cautiously optimistic that at least the Diamondbacks can, get themselves out of the cellar, maybe be a little bit closer to 500 or perhaps above 500, and make us all feel a little bit better about watching this team for the next month and a half. As far as Merrill Kelly goes, I love Merrill. I think that he's an outstanding player, and more importantly, he is like a Valley guy. Very rarely do we get these stories of a player that comes from this place and has been a part of our sports culture here his entire career, right? So yeah, it's going to suck to see the Diamondbacks take the field against Merrill Kelly. But what won't suck is when he comes back to us as a free agent after the season. That won't suck. That'll feel like the Diamondbacks got away with robbery of the Texas Rangers franchise. And maybe that'll make me feel a little bit better about losing the World Series to them. But what else we got, Damon? Let's go on to the next question.
Next question here comes from Travis Moore, who's batting in the 2-hole today. Says, how are we feeling about Locklear so far? Might only be what I've seen anecdotally, but the defense and lack of consistency at the plate has me tepid. Wow.
Tepid.
What a absolute sentence from our guy Travis Moore here. Brought the thesaurus out to talk to us.
Does Travis want to come right for us? Because we definitely could use that for sure. Tepid is a fantastic way to feel about Tyler Locklear right now. 14 strikeouts and 32 at-bats. He has 5 walks. He's slashing 156, 289, 250, 529 OPS, a 51 OPS plus. Far below average. Not really having, I guess, the greatest time defensively in the field. I was pretty furious with that ball that he let kind of go in between his legs on Friday's game, simply because it did not need to become what it became, and it definitely turned into a bigger of a calamity than it needed to be, simply because he didn't knock the ball down. So there are certain things like that I've seen out of him that caused me to be a little intrepid about him and him being our future first baseman over there. However, that we could talk about the wild card stuff all we want. In reality, this is what this season is about. Guys like Tyler Locklear, guys like, Jorge Barrosa, Andrew Hoffman, some of these other places, Juan Burgos, getting an opportunity to play and getting a chance to make those mistakes and get better as a major leaguer. Sometimes what you have to do is realize that sometimes mistakes can be made and it's not the end of the world. And maybe that causes you not to clamp up so much, causes you to play a little bit more freely, be yourself, and again, be able to kind of play good defense. We've seen good defense out of Locklear. We've seen some good approaches at the plate. It's just inconsistent. So I definitely agree with you when it comes to being tepid on him. However, I implore anybody to not overreact to a young prospect, a young player getting called up to a major league level and not finding success immediately. And that goes for Jordan Lawler. There are some more concerns with him in regards to his ability to hit breaking stuff and other things to his game, but we're going to see him soon too. And there's a good chance he's going to struggle as well. It's going to suck, especially in big moments where you feel like somebody else might be better in that spot. You might feel like Blaze might have gotten a hit where Jordan doesn't. But unfortunately, as much as we do want to look at how far they're back in the wild card and keep our fingers crossed and have that little bit of hope remain there that this team can make the postseason, this progression for the minor league players that are becoming big leaguers is at least for now very important, maybe even far more important than that fleeting dream of making the postseason. So I
think Blaze is a good example of that, right? Like, he was awful, at least defensively, and then his bat really cooled off after that hot start, and then you're watching him right now, and it's like He's getting a little bit more extended period of time.
Absolutely.
And the defense looks a lot better, even though it's not perfect. The offense is rounding out into form.
Well said.
So I don't want to be the guy that is sounding the panic alarms, but I also was leading the charge of Tyler Locklear because we just needed a first baseman so bad, and also Pavin Smith. You guys know I got to do my thing.
It fits your agenda.
I got to do my
Tyler
thing.
Locklear be good,
but he hasn't been good.
No,
and
for sure.
that defensive whiff he had this weekend against the Rockies was quite bad. The ball that was hit down the first baseline that he kind of stabbed at. I mean, that's got to be a play that's made, and it turns into at least one run if I'm remembering it correctly. And then the hitting, he's putting it on the ground, I think, way too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need Jesse to come in with some actual launch angle stats and stuff, but I just feel like he rolls it over to the shortstop consistently, and I just need to see a little bit more.
Definitely what he wasn't doing at AAA, because especially over the month of July, he put up some incredible numbers and was hitting the hell out of the ball, especially lifting it, getting that exit angle, and definitely smashing the ball. Not what we're seeing at a major league level, but again, something that they bring up quite a bit is these guys slowing the game down, right? They talk about they talked about that with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in that at bat that he had against Mason Miller, where he hit 103.9 mile per hour, fastball for a home run, right? Taking those foul balls and swinging at the stuff and actually putting the bat on it can slow down even 104 mile per hour pitch. So really right now it's about him figuring out how to slow the game down for himself and put together those good at bats. I have liked what I've seen out of him as far as his approach and the number of pitches he takes.
He walks a lot,
but he's
sounds kind of like another guy I know.
Well, right now he's not walking a lot, but he's taking a lot of pitches. Unfortunately, right now he's striking out a lot, so he's not really controlling those at bats and fouling pitches off and extending them. But he is doing a good job at least putting together some good at bats. The results really aren't there yet. Hopefully we see that improve. But
I'm looking here at his baseball savant, and his walk percentage is actually really high. His K percentage is very low, to your point about him striking out a lot. Yeah. And then I think, and something that I somewhat remember Jesse saying to us in the past is the hard hit percentage being a little bit higher makes sense for a guy who puts the ball on the ground as much as he does. So his launch angle sweet spot is very low percentile. And then his barrel percentage, his hard hit percentage is a little higher. It's still pretty low, but it's probably a matter of ground balls are typically hit harder than pop-ups,
Yeah, for sure. And again, it might be about him getting sent back down and maybe some time in Reno.
Please no.
Him hitting 400, him hitting 450 down there in Reno, comes back, has some confidence, can lift the ball. We'll see.
Here's my take. He's 24. He's a pretty highly regarded prospect, and there's a clear avenue of taking over this job right now.
Sure.
If he doesn't grab it full scale by the back end of this season, I think that there's no way you can go into next season feeling comfortable that Tyler Locklear is your starting first baseman.
Very true. Very true. And I'm still hesitant to think that he's going to do that before the end of the season. I think that with him still being such a young prospect, that there's a good chance there's still a position battle in spring training next year for first base. I don't think anything's going to be set in stone as far as what they're doing at first base over there. But again, he definitely has an opportunity there. That's one thing you can say is that so many of these young guys like Blaze have an opportunity to solidify themselves at these positions, and the competition will bring out the best in them. They have to. It has to. Hopefully what we'll see is the competition for instance, third base, develop both of those guys and make both of them better. So lot to see this still, though. Lot of development still for a lot of young players on this team. What else we got? Speaking of young players developing.
Yeah, next question here comes from Piece of Yoshi, and Yoshi asks, has Hoffman progressed enough in his 3 outings that you guys think Torey has him as the right-handed closer? Or would you say it's still Graveman or maybe even Curtis? Do you think his left-handed counterpart is Saalfrank or Backus?
I think that there's nobody that's a closer, right? I think that there are high leverage guys that Torey's going to go to, and based on usage, Torey will decide from one guy to the next. I do think that Kyle Backus right now seems to be the choice, but that doesn't mean that Andrew Saalfrank, who's been pitching great, is somebody that could step in and be that. For Hoffman, I think that's a lot, but I mean, we've already seen him being used in the 9th inning. So I don't think what you're saying is that off base. I just think that it's probably not any one particular or two particular guys. It's probably a mix, and again, it's going to be based on usage, and it's probably not going to have the greatest results. However, it is going to help those guys develop in high leverage situations, and I think it's going to continue to be the young guys, and quite frankly, Saul Frank. I think he has done it. I'm glad that Torey decided to go to Bacchus. I know he has had his share of struggles as well. None of them have been perfect, but I do feel like he has the stuff there late in the game. And again, he wants the ball in high leverage situations. I think he's the guy as far as left-handers are concerned right now. They don't really have a ton of options, but I don't know. I mean, again, it's going to be based on how they're pitching and how things are going. There won't be any one guy or even two guys named as as that closer option at all by Torey. Elizabeth says, "What's a closer?" No, not that we don't know. We don't do closers anymore on this team, and we'll never do them ever again. What else we got?
Next question here comes from Michael Rokicki, and Michael asks, who was playing third base yesterday, and what did they do to the real Blaze Alexander? His defense has improved leaps and bounds.
Damon was just talking about this, man. I mean, that's exactly what giving these guys opportunities at playing time can do for them. I will say that Blaze is a guy that comes off as very unserious, right? When you talk to him, Blaze is quite possibly more of a good vibes only guy than Gino Suarez is a good vibes only guy, right?
Yeah.
Blaze is definitely just this very positive, very, very excited to be here kind of player. And a lot of guys that kind of can drop off. Blaze, it doesn't seem like it's just him being excited to be called up. Blaze Alexander strikes me as the kind of guy that just loves life and loves playing baseball. I felt like we got the deepest with him recently, right? On Friday, when we had a chance to talk to him about just how much he struggled and how this year has gone for him, where it started when he was injured, when he was missing time, having other guys pass him up on the depth chart and things like that versus where he got to on Friday night, where he was our king snake for game one of this series against the Colorado Rockies. So I think that's the reason why, for me, for sure, you can't sit there and I know it's funny to do it. I know some of us are doing it just sarcastically and whatever, but we can't sit here and see a guy like Tyler Locklear play a dozen games at a major league level and label him a bum or a bust or say that he needs to be returned back to Seattle. It does take time. What we're seeing, even out of some of the major league pieces that have been traded, we're seeing them struggle. I mean, I know Jano had a big RBI double or whatever in yesterday's game, but he's still hitting like below 110 as a member of the Seattle Mariners. So again, let's chill. Let's wait for these guys to develop. And when we do, then we can sit here and say, like, look at how far they've come. Remember when, right? With especially guys like Blaze Alexander. But the scouting report on Blaze has always been that he's had a really strong arm and very coachable, right? Like very willing to accept coaching, makes improvements quickly, adapts to defensive strategies and implements them. And I think that, again, that's what we're seeing out of him is just a guy dedicated at third base to playing that position, not necessarily moving him around as much as he has in his career, and also getting playing time at a major league level. So I'm with you though. I've done the glasses thing once or twice myself, looking at Blaze over there at third base. I'm proud of him, quite frankly. I think he's done an amazing job at making those changes and getting better defensively over there.
If you told him that, I bet you he'd be like legitimately happy to hear that. He'd be like, you know what, man, that means the world to me that you're proud of me.
I legitimately mean it. Well, because I mean, again, it's like, especially when you start going and watching these guys like we do at a AAA, AA level, you start to root for them. And I mean, sometimes
he's really easy to root for.
And he's such an easy guy to root for. There's so many guys in this organization that are easy to root for, but
it's not in the same exact way, but it's kind of like Jerry vibes in a little bit, where it's just like, how could you dislike this guy?
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Well said. Well said. Well, we're going to take a quick break and do some more Mailbag Monday questions on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, Mountain America Credit Union wants to make sure you are rewarded, and everyone needs a checking account, but more importantly, everyone needs to receive rewards for what we're spending. You gotta get the account with built-in benefits. Mountain America's My Style checking account has perks just for you, and you can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, and so much more. They give you access to discounted loan rates, discounts on travel and events, and again, even baseball games. So make sure to check out Mountain America Credit Union's My Style checking account. Make My Style for your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA, membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, condition, and exclusions apply. And you've heard the name here in the Valley, and I know that there are people out there that have been staring at their terrible flooring in their home, wanting to replace it, wondering when the time will be to make that happen. Well, now is the time. Empire Today wants to help you get that done. They are flooring sickos. They eat, breathe, and live flooring, and they will get you taken care of. Empire Today is special because they will be with you every step of the way. These days, you can go get flooring on your own at big box stores or at flooring discount stores all over the place, but you're not going to get the help. You're not going to get the service that you're going to get from our friends at Empire Today. They're flooring experts that bring the showroom right to you. You can pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space in your space. See how those floorings will look with your furniture, with your walls, with your colors in your home. And then that way you can get precise measurements and have all of your questions answered so there are no surprises. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Again, no surprises at all. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive, get this, a $350 discount when using that promo code PHNX. That's $315 off with code PHNX. Restrictions do apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHNX for full details. And Damon, let's get back to the mailbag. What else we got?
We got our next question here from Austin. Austin asking, what starting pitcher in the minors besides Bryce Jarvis could make their debut as a late call-up?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that the minor league system is fairly depleted.
Yeah, they're ravaged.
They are ravaged. And so, again, Yumin Lin no longer part of that group that could be potentially called up. We don't know how bad the extent of his injury is or how much time he will miss. But, again, that's very much someone who we thought would probably be the answer to this question. In looking at Reno, one name that comes up, and I know he was just recently promoted to AAA, so maybe there's a good chance we don't see him this year, but the aforementioned Cole Drake, who was acquired from Texas in the trade for Merrill Kelly. He's currently in Reno after pitching for the AA Frisco team this season. AA Frisco, of course, as you remember, we visited last All-Star break and swam in their lazy river, and let me tell you, it was better than advertised. It was a great experience. He has a 55 grade fastball and a 55 grade curveball, 50 grade slider and changeup. He had a 2.44 ERA in 12 games for AA Frisco. He's had a rough start in Reno so far, but it's Reno, and at least he's on his way. So it's very encouraging to see that he's at the AAA level and continues to develop. The results are what they are. I think his ERA is like 9 right now after 2 games, but again, I'm not certain we'll see him, but I'm not certain we'll see many guys from the minor league system this year, considering how depleted that depth currently is. Another name is Dylan Ray. He has had some really good performances for the AAA Reno. I don't know if he'll be ready this season. I know his numbers don't look great as well, but he's another name that we could see as far as the starting pitcher is concerned this year. The hope is that the Diamondbacks don't need another starting pitcher. The hope is that Disco there can fill that role for the remainder of the year and at least make the Diamondbacks competitive. And if he's not, then as you said, Bryce Jarvis would probably be the next man up for sure for this team. It would appear that many of you in the chat are now taking us to a different place where we are no longer hosting the show. They're giving over hosting rights to Perdomo and
Blaze.
And Blaze, is that right?
Honestly, it'd be a better show.
I'd watch the hell out of that show. Groundhog Mama says Domo and Blaze co-hosting a podcast. The Frog and Dog Show. Who wouldn't want to listen to that? I feel like the Frog and Dog includes you, but not me.
I think that they're saying Blaze is the dog.
Oh no, that Blaze is definitely the dog.
I'm probably they got me back here producing it. You're like maybe we like throw it to the mayor and he off, you know,
two dogs and a frog.
15-minute segment on the show or something.
I'll do the shade throwing shade segment.
No, meetings with the mayor will be just your only appearances on PHNX at this point.
I'd definitely I would subscribe to that, like many of you are saying, for sure. What else? Wait, we're done with that one. I don't know. The Diamondbacks don't have many starting pitchers left, so none. I don't know if we'll see any more guys. I feel like if the depth continues to get depleted at this point, they're just going to need to go out and try to find another.
Ryan makes a good point. Who's going to shill for Torey if Derek's not here?
Blaze. Well, Perdomo. Both of them will.
Yeah, that's fair. They both would.
I once heard Eduardo Escobar say he would die for Torey Lovullo, so there's no bigger shill than Eduardo Escobar, but I'm pretty sure there's some players on this team I'm pretty
sure Jerry would take a bullet for Torey, and Blaze was shilling for Sean Larkin the other night, so I can't even imagine what the guy would say about Torey Lovullo.
I also love Sean Larkin as well. I don't love some of the things that have happened while he's been third base coach of this team, but I still love Sean Larkin as a person.
How does Killer Rex, who hates Torey shills but also loves Blaze Alexander supposedly, how does he feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel about that? We'll wait for your comment. While we're doing that, let's get to what his favorite question of the day is going to be right now. Damon, go ahead and read that one.
Wildcat Brian asks, does Torey return for 2026? If not, who should replace him?
There was a point earlier in the season where even with the losses, I would have said no, right? But I don't know if that's the case anymore. I don't know if the answer is just an obvious no, that they're not going to replace Torey Lovullo this offseason. I still feel strongly like they're not. But if they do, who would you want to see in there, right? I mean, I feel like one of the very first people that comes to mind, obviously, is Jeff Bannister, right? Jeff Bannister feels like a very obvious replacement, considering a lot of people like Bannister. He's respected on this team already, and he kind of already manages this team as it stands. So why wouldn't you maybe give Bannister a shot? However, as Damon would be the first to point out, replacing Torey Lovullo with Jeff Bannister is basically like replacing Torey Lovullo with Torey Lovullo, right? I mean, I know that he might manage differently. I know at the end of the day that Torey allows his coaches to have a lot of input on what his ultimate final decision is. However, I just feel like a lot of what Torey is getting and managing right now is already from Jeff Bannister. So I don't know if it would be that different with Banny running the things. Another name I find to be really interesting is Skip Schumacher, or Shoemaker. I don't know if it's Shoemaker or Schumacher, but former manager of the Marlins, who I think
it's Schumacher.
Schumacher, right? But I feel like he was kind of unjustly fired after being a big part of their rebuild there. He's currently like a special advisor for the Texas Rangers. So I don't hate the idea of giving someone like him that had some success with a young team a chance to manage this team if you go in that direction. I do know that a lot of people want Bob Brenly to come back, and I refuse to allow you guys to do that to that man and his health. I don't want his health to be put on the line for this baseball team. Can you imagine the sleepless night? Bob Brenly needs all the sleep he can get, and I'm not going to allow you to make him lose sleep over this baseball team. Another candidate I think that should be at least discussed is Baxter. I don't think that it's out of the question to consider Baxter.
He's got a great baseball mind.
Exactly. I mean, at least put him at third base. I've already seen him over there.
You got to give him an
coaching
interview.
Guys up. How do you not?
Maybe interview Condoleezza Rice as well. Do you remember that when the Browns were reportedly interviewing Condoleezza Rice for their head coaching role?
It's a wild pull. Well, for interviewing people, you better interview Jesse Friedman too while we're at it.
100%.
We brought him up 3 times, I think, on this podcast already, and you might as well throw him in there for manager of this baseball team, though I probably wouldn't want him to suffer that fate either. What I do, though, is we got to go into overtime here. We're getting close to the final hour or end of this show. So make sure if you are watching right now on wherever you're watching, come on over to gophnx.com. We're going to overtime. I like to call it extra innings, but they won't make me a graphic that says extra innings. So I'm just going to stick on with calling it overtime. But in overtime, we're going to answer the silliest questions of Mailbag Monday for sure. I think we have one more, though, that's not silly, or maybe it is silly. I don't know. What else we got, Damon? Let's get one more in. And then we got the important questions to get to.
Yeah, last question that's unserious, or that is serious, I guess, is from Crobin Carroll Enthusiast, who asks, how many games back do we need to be to start getting hope?
God.
Damon.
3. It's 3. The answer is 3.
Right?
At 3, I'll start to say crazy things on the
at
show.
3 games back of the wild card, I'm sitting here and I'm like, but I'm looking at you, Derek, and I'm going, what about it?
Yeah, what about it? Let's talk about it. 3 games back is where I start to get mad about losses again and start to like question all the little wins and ins and outs and everything like that. Look, it's baseball. Again, they don't have a good chance. Their chance is like less. I believe they still have less than a 1% chance of making the postseason, right? But that's just stupid computer numbers, and computers don't think a team like the Mets is going to have a complete meltdown, and you never know what can happen. You never really know what can happen to the teams that are ahead of the Diamondbacks now in the race. I think they just passed the Marlins, or at least tied with the Marlins in the wild card race. So again, there's a lot that could happen. Someone replied to our tweet and said, I don't let my hopes get up from a series with the Rockies, so I can't be disappointed by this team. And I agree with that. I think there's some people that have been doing that since the first month of the season, not letting your hopes get up about this team so that they can't hurt you, can't crush you with their disappointment. But again, it's baseball, and there are crazier things that have happened. And if they do make a run at it, then we collectively as a group are going to have a lot of fun watching it, covering it, talking about it together. And again, that's what sports is about. Sports is about your team suddenly having a chance when they have no business having a chance, and making some sort of improbable run. And maybe they do fall short. Maybe they come 1 game short, just like they did last year. Who knows? But that's something we should all be hoping for. We should all be hoping that this team of young players can somehow galvanize over this situation, come together, start winning some baseball games, and maybe do something really, really cool that we all get to be a little part of. So that's where I'm at. Let's see. Does somebody else? Piece of Yoshi said 1.3% to make the playoffs currently via Fangraphs. So you're telling me there's a chance. That's all I'm
I like those odds.
I'll take those odds. I really don't.
Me and my squad?
Want to take those odds.
Me and my boys?
We're not scared. We're not scared of anything. But again, Killer X is now mad at us that we're not doing post-game shows on Monday. Are you new around here? I feel like you have been screaming for Torey's job for 3 years. Like, how are you new here? We've never done post-game shows on Monday, nor are we ever going to, Killer X. I'm not going to bend to your will and get rid of Mailbag Monday so I can start doing post-game shows. You know what? In fact, we're doing less post-game shows now. Less, 2 a week now, thanks to Killer X. And if he keeps it up, we'll reduce it down to 1. What else we got in the mailbag, Damon?
Next question here comes from Ryan Hanley. And Hanley asks, what is your go-to movie theater snack?
This is such a good question. First, I got to give credit to Anthony Totri. We actually had this conversation in the office.
It was a real meeting of the minds.
It was a real meeting of the minds. And Totri said nachos. And then I kind of molded over. And though I am not a nacho person, I'm not a nacho person at a baseball game. I'm not a nacho person at the movie theaters. Though I will say the little convenient, tray of nachos that are untouched by the cheese with the hot cheese on the side, that seems like a really good way to go in a movie theater, because I tend to be disappointed with the state of my popcorn by the time the previews are done. Right. I've put entirely too much butter on it. They let me just put the butter on it myself, Damon. And that's a bad idea. I'm just
because
I'm gonna go way too hard.
Cereal.
Oh, it's exactly. Got to eat it with a spoon. The shorts I'm wearing, I'm never gonna get to wear the shorts that I wore that movie ever again. Just stained with oil all over them. But nachos are pretty good. My go-to snack, to be honest, is if we're talking about what I get at the movies, kids combo every single time. Kids combo, a little tiny bit of popcorn, little tiny drink that I can fill up with whatever I fill it up with. They don't have to know that I put icy in it. And then for a small charge, you can upgrade the fruit snacks to a candy, and I upgrade that to chocolate Raisinets. and then I pour my chocolate raisinets
Kevin, I mean,
in my
my
popcorn.
God, that's Kevin Thomas's music.
Yeah.
This guy is he came ready.
Popcorn, Sour Patch Kids, chocolate chip cookies, ice cream sandwich. Wow. That's a lot.
My God, man.
That is a lot.
My guy's bringing a briefcase.
Is he making multiple trips back to the snack stand, or is he getting all of that in one purchase? Is the ice cream melting before he gets to it?
You gotta have ice cream first then.
Yeah, you have to have ice cream first then. It's reverse order. But I think when you're just putting trash in your mouth, that it doesn't really matter what order you put it in. It's all sugar and snacks, and it really doesn't matter if it's ice cream or whatever. Ernesto says popcorn, soda, and illegal dots. Illegal dots. I'm interested. Are we 10 milligram illegal dots or 50 milligram illegal dots? Just curious.
You piqued Derek's interest now. Here's a wrench I want to throw into this conversation. And Sean throws in a Dino Nuggies, always a solid trip or opportunity there. I was gonna say, what about like mozzarella sticks?
No. Yeah, no, that's a bit much. Like I've seen sliders. They have sliders. Are we venturing out? Like we're almost into one of those places where you're getting a full meal while you're sitting there.
Yeah, it's one of those full dine-in movie theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that.
I mean, like AMC's have like mozzarella sticks.
Sure.
It's like a nice, easy, just like, how could you screw it up? You just dip it.
I'm a baseball guy. I'll take hot dogs anytime. I know that some of them serve hot dogs, right? So that seems very reasonable. Mark R., great to see you in the chat. He says, hey, Derek and Kevo. Wow. It has been a long time since you've got the live show. He beat me up and we kicked him off the show. I don't know if you saw that. There was a festival of friendship. It ended poorly. Damon's back now.
No, Mark got me. He said in Damon, of course.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure he's in there. All right. We got another food related question. Elizabeth says mine has tots and quesos. Oh, tots and queso. That does sound fire. That sounds fire. See, I do, again.
Killer Rex disagrees with me, which means that it was a good take.
Yes.
So I think you lost that one,
unfortunately. Okay, that's I don't ever want to be on the same side as Killer Rex, that's for sure. But I will say the idea of something that does have like hot cheese that I can dip in while I'm watching the movie, like maybe we can get some Wetzel's pretzels in a little tray. I've never seen that at a movie theater, like little pretzel bites. I need pretzel bites.
So just to be clear, that's the hot cheese that you want, but my hot cheese suggestion was not good enough.
Okay, yours is a fried vessel with cheese in the middle. But see, now there's a time frame on eating that. You know I don't like mozzarella sticks when they get cold, and I have to eat that really fast? Like I want to enjoy my snack throughout the movie. I don't want to just eat it all during the trailers. That's what I don't want. That would be great. Specifically, can we get a chocolate fondue fountain? I'll take that as well. We got a more important food question to get to. Wow. It's Elizabeth. No offense to you, Ryan. I love you, Ryan, but we got to get to the real food question here, which is what goes in the perfect burger? She's just going to bring this whole office to a halt.
Oh my God. The chat is like, everyone's going to have their own opinion.
See, I'm a man who at one time in my life enjoyed a good Fuddrucker burger, and I have come so far from that. So you change as life goes on. I think smash burgers have kind of won my heart over. I love the idea of having like 3 smaller patties that are like covered in cheese, all together, but reasonably sized, not outrageous. I don't want a burger that's so big that I feel like a fool eating it. I don't want it to be gigantic and all falling apart. And I feel like that's the problem with most burgers that people consider to be like a fancier burger. Yeah. They just add more toppings onto it. I don't need more toppings. It's not a matter of toppings. It's a matter of the bread being perfect, the meat being perfect, the cheese being perfect, and then adding grilled onions and maybe some grilled jalapenos to it, right?
Maybe putting some Texas toast as the bun.
Yeah, basically a patty melt is the perfect burger. Damon and I have come to agree.
Derek and I off air, we're very much. I mean, I'm all in on the patty melt, guys, and I don't really care what anybody else thinks about it. The perfect burger for me is a patty melt, add grilled jalapenos. It's every time. It's never missed. Sometimes it's better than other times, but again, it's never. The floor is extremely high.
Right, I have
got
tummy
a really
issues.
High floor.
I can't always get the jalapenos, but I will always get the grilled onions.
I got tummy issues too.
I will always get the grilled onions.
I got tummy issues too, Derek. But some things are just more important in life.
You're right. And I mean,
and in this case, it's grilled jalapenos.
See, I've tried all of the fancy. I've tried all of the fancy little stuff. Like I've tried the grilled cheeseburger. Someone brought that up. Grilled cheese sandwiches on top and bottom, right? too much bread. I love the idea of it. Love the concept. Love grilled cheese. Love eating 2 sandwiches. One of my favorite things in the whole wide world, especially at the same time. It's too much bread.
Double decker.
Yeah, it's like if it's done properly, especially in a patty melt form, you're basically getting a grilled cheese. You're getting all the great parts of a grilled cheese. You're getting some great sourdough bread or some other bread that's getting pressed on a grill with some butter on it, and that's always amazing. But more importantly, I want lots of cheese. I want lots of meat. I want lots of onions on it. I'm not even a big I have to have sauces on it or anything like that. Like I'm simple. I like mayo and ketchup and things, right? A little bit of mustard even. I'm not even a big mustard guy. A little bit of mustard. But I did go to a hotel in San Diego. I think I've told this story before. It was during Comic-Con, and the person behind the bar basically urged me not to get anything on the burger. Said the way the burger is served is simply meat, cheese, and bun, and he will bring me whatever toppings I want. However, it came with a side of garlic Parmesan fries, so he suggested that I don't even touch my plate with ketchup. And I thought this man was an insane person, but it was a rainy, dreary day in San Diego. COVID was in full swing. All the really big celebrities decided to opt out of Comic-Con. I wasn't in a good mood. But I had this little respite of this cheeseburger, and quite frankly, it was one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know what kind of magic they put into it. I don't know why. The simple grease and juice from the burger was enough to make it have be fulfilling without a sauce, ketchup on it, anything. But sometimes the best burger can be just so simple and still be amazing. I think it's about not having a frozen patty. It's about, again, grilling it correctly, and it's about having a little salt, little pepper. That's all you need. Cheese, onions, grilled onions. That's Sean says grilled onions. Give me all the grilled onions. I would almost prefer more grilled onions than patty. Caramelized onions.
How on earth
100%.
is this a free ad? We haven't named a single company.
Bad Jimmy's has incredible burgers. Bad Jimmy's.
And there you go, Max.
I've been describing Bad Jimmy's
and that's what
this entire time.
And that's what he gets.
I know it's expensive. I know Max is going to be furious with me, but it's Bad Jimmy's. I've been sitting here describing Bad Jimmy's this whole time.
That's what he gets, though. He literally came out of the woodworks. We were trying our best to not give free ads.
Yeah,
and then he has to just open his mouth.
Demands
and now here we go.
I want you to talk about Shake Shack right now, which the Shake Shack burger with the fried mushroom on top. Incredible. Another great.
That is a good burger.
Yeah, where the one patty is a patty, and then so much. A lot of people asking about egg. I also had a miserable experience with egg on a burger, but I do like egg on a burger. I think it's good.
It's good stuff.
But I had another experience where at Gordon Ramsay's, they have a farmhouse burger, and it was the only burger that had bacon on it. Oddly enough, none of Gordon Ramsay's other burgers have bacon on it. Get your crap together, Gordon Ramsay. And apparently the yolk from the egg was intended to be the juice for the burger. No ketchup, no mayo, no nothing on it. This is the polar opposite of the San Diego Comic-Con trip, because this burger sucked and the egg yolk all ran out the side, and I had a dry, terrible breakfast sandwich basically for a burger, and that's how I
Devastating.
Devastating.
Ryan put in a good shout too. I want to just say, shout out my green chili people out there.
Oh yeah,
that's a great call.
That's
as
a
well.
great call as well.
That doesn't miss.
Nope. Again, there's some simple toppings that can definitely improve a burger and take it to a 5-star burger. I don't want a whole bunch of toppings on it anymore, and I refuse to do that. But that's where I stand. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments, of course. Love that you guys are here in the live chat. If you're watching this afterwards,
Albert
make sure
Wilson,
to drop
what's your favorite?
Yeah, Albert Wilson.
Burger topping.
First, tell us the D-backs suck, and then tell us your favorite burger topping. We'd love to hear from you. Killer X, go ahead and drop a line about Torey being fired, and then tell us your burger topping. But I don't mean to make you guys one-dimensional. You're human beings. Have better opinions is basically what I'm saying. But he says you guys used to be Wendy's shills. What happened? Still, I'm a Wendy's shill in my heart until the end of time, quite frankly. So.
Bro discovered business.
Yeah. It's a frosty take, Killer Rex. That's a frosty take. But we appreciate you being here. We appreciate all you guys stopping by. We will see you tomorrow for a post-game show, so make sure to stop by for that. In the meantime, make sure to follow us on Twitter. I am at @cap_caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG at the end. We are all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_D-backs, _D-backs, but all roads, as always, lead to PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you guys again so much for your time. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, enjoy tonight's game. Hopefully the Diamondbacks can get the series started with a win against a very tough starting pitcher on the mound. and behave yourselves. And more importantly, come back here tomorrow for another post-game show. Until then, have a wonderful evening. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when your burger has grilled onions on it.
We all silly like the mayor.
Are you serious? Hey, we forgot Super Chats. So if you guys are still here, BComC clearly gave us like 6 Super Chats. Damon's going to read them all, and it's going to be very embarrassing. I thought you could get rid of us that easily. No chance.
No.
Damon, go.
Where is my Jalen Green video?
That's the wrong show.
Jalen Green can't hide forever.
Also the wrong show.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a little no booty on this team now.
That's true. I'm still here, though.
Tyler Locklear disagrees.
That
if we
boy's
beat
thick.
Nathan tonight and the Rangers, y'all don't go live, that's a disservice to us.
Okay,
and it's a
wait.
guarantee we
No,
win
I
in
didn't know that
my Charles
BCSC
Barkley
wanted
voice
us to go
take.
live. I didn't know that. Well, maybe we'll consider it now. We don't care about what Killer X has to say.
And then VCSC says that championship stays in Columbus, by the way.
I don't know that reference. All right. Well, we got them all in. Well, thank you guys again for your time.
Remember, kids.
And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you read all of those Super Chats the first time.
We all silly like the mayor.